Hello again, I'm David Morey. Good to be with you on this series about all of my books. We're leading to the new book, Innovating Innovation. This is my third book, Creating Business Magic, with a foreword by David Copperfield, the legend of Las Vegas. We're so honored that David has written the foreword to this. This book is about the power of thinking magically. It's the first book to really look at the way magicians come at the challenges in a different sort of angle of attack, if you will, whether it's business, politics, life. Thinking like a magician has tremendous power, tremendous power. So this is the first book to strategically look at how the way magicians think and how strategically we can apply that. I've written that with some of the great magicians and friends of my life. John McLaughlin is one of my co-authors, the former acting director of the CIA, and the great Eugene Burger, the late Eugene Burger. He passed away, sadly, about 3 or 4 months before the book was finished. But we channeled Eugene, and Eugene was one of the great close-up magicians in the world, one of the greatest magicians in history. We miss him every day, and the book, in fact, is dedicated to Eugene Burger. The bios of we authors make this book unique. And the 9 steps that the book takes you through to actually think out of the box, to take advantage of my first 2 books, The Underdog Advantage and The Leadership Campaign, which really talked about insurgency and playing offense, going on the attack as an underdog. The Creating Business Magic book takes all that and shows you how to think out of the box. How do you drive innovation based on these principles? The book was invented in some way by Eugene. He was about to give a speech for the Coca-Cola Company, true story, about 15 years ago. And they wanted him to give a speech on creativity and innovation. And he's at the W Hotel the night before the speech. He's starting to get nervous. He says, wait a second, this is the top 100 officers of the Coca-Cola Company. These people know much more than I do about creativity, innovation, business. And it dawned on Eugene that he should change the topic, the focus of his talk. There's lessons here. Control your own agenda. Never go into the water to fight a shark. You fight a shark in the living room on your own terms. Eugene said, why don't I change my talk to how magicians think? Because I'm one of the world's expert at how magicians think. And that's really what the book is all about. For example, it talks about the one ahead principle, how magicians, we get one ahead. And once we get one item or piece of information ahead, we can create miracles. Or the need in business and life and magic to have an out. Magicians always have an out. When something goes wrong, we have an emergency off-ramp on which we can get out of trouble. Or how magicians can invert a problem. Look at a problem almost from an upside down angle, like the great Jacoby once said, when in doubt, invert, always invert. Or the way magicians prepare before the audience is ever looking. The great Max Malini is famous for this. In the 20s, the greatest magician of his age literally went to the local dry cleaner. We opened the book with this story, and bribed the dry cleaner to sew the 2 of diamonds into 3 United States senators' tuxedos, into the tuxedo lining, bribed them. He waited. 2 years later, he's at a black tie event. He notices one of the senators with that tuxedo on. He's deluged. People came up. He was more famous at this time than Harry Houdini, the most famous magician in history. He was deluged. They said, Max, do something. He said, I'm not prepared. I'm not prepared? He was prepared 2 years before. 2 years before, he said, does anyone have a deck of cards? No one brings a deck of cards to a dinner party. I do. He forces a card, makes sure the senator's wife takes the 2 of diamonds. With some sleight of hand, it's gone. He said, this is very unusual. Does anyone here have a knife? Who brings a knife to a black tie party? I do. Senator, please open your tuxedo. This is very unusual, but... And Malini cuts right through the lining, lets the senator himself extract the 2 of diamonds. Magicians prepare way, way, way ahead of when anyone's looking. So, ladies and gentlemen, go to our website, www.playoffense.com. Order Creating Business Magic, any of our other books. We have magic seminars out in Las Vegas with our great partner, Jeff McBride. McBride's Magic and Mystery School. We do all kinds of workshops related to innovation and applying the principles of magic. And what we've learned and what I leave you with is, ladies and gentlemen, remember, imagination can make magicians of us all. Good day.